Can I ask you something? All these memories and timelines. How do you decide what's real? Look around, figure out what you believe is true right now, and just commit to it.
Peace, peace. Now's the vibrate. Y'all know what it is. Just a quick, simple one. This was tied into the video I just recently done about forgot what I call it, over exaggerated, uh, something with the spiritual. I forgot the name of it, but I'll put it up. But basically, how pointing to traveling is only traveling is something that we do on a metaphysical level, on an astral level. You feel me? Like, again, these metaphysical concepts get taken and turned into mundane concepts, and it's more so about, these things becoming a thing for people who not able to travel metaphysically. So if a peoples who's not able to travel metaphysically creates a society, then they're gonna promote it from the level that they could attain it, which is physical travel, you know. And before even getting into it, this is not to say don't travel, or traveling is, being stuck in the matrix, or traveling is being attached to the matrix, or this and that. No, if you feel the urge to travel, physically go different places, that's cool. It's just understanding the deeper aspect of it, because I feel like, some may be possibly doing it more so because of the whole collective vibe of like you gotta travel physically, and that's only been developed, due to a society built on, beings that may not be able to travel astrally or travel metaphysically. You feel me? So with traveling, and this goes into Dune. I think of Dune with, the spice, and the spice allows for multi-dimensional travel without necessarily, moving your body, and going anywhere physically. But what I do want to say though, because this is where it could get, unhealthy, is if you're looking to travel externally more than you're traveling internally, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if it's 51% to 50%, 51% to 49%. Make sure that, it's 51% or more, being put upon, internal travel. That's if you're looking to, tap into, the true essence of your being, on that level. If not, then this message not for you. You feel me? But like on some real shit, it's like, hey, the traveling happens, within. It happens in the dream realm. It happens just by you closing your eyes and picturing, you know, Angkor Wat, or picturing the pyramids, or picturing, what I'm saying, some of these things in your head. Because, what's also cool, and that's how you're really capable of this, is when you could visualize certain things vividly and you never really physically been there. You feel me? But it's to not get caught in the sauce, lost in the sauce of, oh, all right, like where I travel here, I travel there, more than you're traveling internally, you know what I'm saying? Like going into the different spaces of yourself, you know what I'm saying? And this could be from a psychological perspective, where it's like, like internal travel could mean like, you're traveling to the different parts of your psyche, which is technically not necessarily traveling to, a different dimension per se, in the sense of Like, so say for instance, there's two ways to travel internally. I could travel psychologically, in essence, internally, for lack of a better word, or I could travel in a way that resembles, external travel. So I could, close my eyes and get visions or picture, being in Kemet, or just being in a forest or some type of, landscape that I never seen before. But then there's also travel from the perspective of, go and sit with my inner child, which is more so space travel or quote unquote time travel. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like a nuance of that, difference. You could be traveling internally from a psychological or subconscious perspective, on that level. Again, like on some visualizing my inner child or my inner teenager, or having a conversation with my future self or past self, on that level, that's still traveling, and then also travel from the perspective of, like visualizing a different, realm, what I'm saying, a different world, in so many ways is also a form of travel, you know. And another one, but I feel like it would go into, you know, wouldn't necessarily have its own category, but again, just visualizing somebody in essence is, astral travel, you feel me? Like you visualizing talking to somebody, you're meeting them in a certain little space, it's internal travel. So just keeping it simple, just remembering that the internal travel first, external travel second. External travel is not wrong or bad or any of that, you know what I'm saying? It's just understanding that, you know, it's how the truth, like half truths, like it's true that you expand your mind by like, like you can't get you can't expand your mind by externally traveling, like going to a new space. It would be a lie to say that, traveling outside of Louisiana or outside of a small town, like, that I grew up in this realm, like that expanded my experience, traveling outside of, the quote unquote state I was in, and you see how that even aligns. But, it also could be a way for you to distract yourself from your inner work and basically, again, our inner capabilities, are just like muscles, and if you don't work it out, you know what I'm saying, you know, like that muscle get flimsy, or that muscle, it's not as strong, or it's gonna take you even more to work that muscle because you've been neglecting it for so long, you know. And that's the muscle of, again, internal travel, internal visualization, The more you visualize and challenge yourself with your inner visualizations, the more, you're working that muscle, So it's just to have that, that full circle awareness of, that situation, and how traveling externally is a half truth, because yes, it can expand your mind, but it could also be used as a distraction where if you're not aware, again, just on the surface level, oh man, it's traveling, that's the thing, you got to expand your mind by traveling, that's almost like, again, like that's the equivalent to like, oh, you got to expand your mind by putting on the VR, like put on this robot matrix VR eyeglasses, and that's going to expand your mind, putting that before the fact that you expand your mind through your own internal abilities, dreaming, visualizations on that level, you know what I'm saying? So, because again, yeah, I'm pretty sure like I would have like, some type of something could come from me putting on the VR glasses. Pretty sure I could like, learn something just because I consider myself to be a student on that level. Like, well, I ain't gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater. It's something I could learn from, that experience. But it's definitely not about putting that before my internal abilities, you feel me? And so, it's just being aware that internal travel first, external travel second. Now it's vibrate. Peace.